News will follow the Pacing Championships in half an hour.
From Queensland, the Sunshine State, and from within its capital city, Brisbane, Albion Park Paceway, known as the speed pacing capital of Australia, proudly hosts the Foster's 1986 Golden Jubilee Interdominion Pacing Championship.
Welcome again to Albion Park in Brisbane for tonight's final qualifying heats for next Saturday night's Interdominion Grand Final. We should see some tremendous pacing tonight as the horses battle for the 10 spots in the Grand Final. Looking at the points table after the first two nights of qualifying, we see Village Kid and Corral to Gift both unbeaten on 22 points, then Stylish Guy and Pan Yan on 20, Master Mood on 19, then Line On, Scientific and Bag Limit all on 18. And those horses should be fairly secure for next week's Grand Final. Then the borderline horses, Wandai's Mate, Just a Breeze, Gay Morrow and Paleface Bubble all on 15. Then Gosh, Murano Magic and Intricate on 13. Our commentator again tonight is David Morrow. And David, the field still wide open for next week's Grand Final.
Yes, Peter, it is still very open. As you said, those top 8 horses look certainties to go through to the final. They've got that 3-point buffer zone over the most interesting 4 runners tonight. Game Oro, Wandai's Mate, Paleface Bubble and Just a Breeze. Now, Game Oro and Wandai's Mate will clash in the last heat, and they're also opposed to Bag Limit, so it's going to be a very interesting race, that one. Paleface Bubble gets a good opportunity in the first heat to finish second behind Village Kid. If he does so, I think he'll go through to the final. And Just a Breeze is not going to have it very easy either. He's opposed to Corral to Gift and Master Mood in the third of those heats tonight, so his task is not an easy one. It's going to be an interesting night. Any of those horses below those 4 on the point score list at the moment will need to win to get into the final next Saturday night. But to tonight's exciting action, and the first heat we're going to see is the 9th heat, and in this is Village Kid, the outstanding Western Australian who's the outright favourite for the Grand Final next Saturday night. He's drawn in 2. Number 4, Scientific, also a very interesting runner, has already racked up 18 points in this year's Interdominion and seems assured of a berth in the final. Murano Magic needs to win to go into next week's Grand Final, and Paleface Bubble will be looking for a 2nd or a 3rd placing to try and ensure him a start next week. Pan Yan also seems assured of a start next week. But let's go down and see what sort of tomato sauce odds we've got surrounding Village Kid.
This heat looks like a one-horse race with Village Kid around 25 to 1 on, and also 12 to 1 on now for the Grand Final next Saturday night. Quite good support though for Paleface Bubble at around 11 to 8. Scientific, the local horse that won a heat the other night, at about 9 to 4, and Pan Yan, the Victorian, has eased slightly in the betting to be at 3 to 1.
And so the horses are parading now for the start of the 9th heat and all tonight's heat and the final over the flying 2100 metres. And the time will of course be interesting in this heat. Village Kid expected to lead, and without much pressure applied, he could very well go close to the record here at this track over the flying 2100 metres, held by Popular Arm, a mile rate of 1:57. So we'll certainly keep that well in our minds as we go through this race. Village Kid, of course, trained by Bill Horn and driven by Chris Lewis, and look at those times he's already run here, and I don't think he's yet got to 3rd gear, let alone 4th and 5th and overdrive. Scientific is a horse who I think provided the biggest shock of the carnival so far with his brilliant win here on Wednesday night when he led all the way in 155.5 and held off Bag Limit. I'm quite certain that halfway down the straight that Bag Limit's driver Vin Knight thought he was going to go straight past Scientific. But Des Weeks, the driver, had other ideas, and the Queenslander not only stunned the crowd, but he gave them plenty to smile about, this local Queensland crowd. Of course, Paleface Bubble's one of the interesting runners in this race. Paleface Bubble currently on 15 points. Needs a 2nd or 3rd, and no doubt Michael Ilsley will be hoping for 2nd to try and assure him of a spot in the final next Saturday night. So let's go down once again and hear them as they're called up for the first time, I might add, over the flying 2100 metres. The starter, John Andrews.
Number 1, number 2 in. Come on, drivers, bring that 2. Bring him on in.
There's towards the blue light, and away they go in the 9th heat of the Interdominion. And Village Kid, he was a little bit slow early, and Morano Magic's driver Trevor Warwick is keen to lead. They go past the winning post. They've got 2 laps to go, 2,000 metres to go, and Morano Magic off the track. Village Kid up on the inside. Chris Lewis is keen to lead, and Chris Lewis goes to the lead. Morano Magic skipped out of the gear there for a few strides, and Village Kid goes to the back and holds Morano Magic out in the end. Parading moving now to third, followed in by Paleface Bubble, who'll appreciate that early speed being on from Scientific and Ambro Gold. Back in the field, Chico Dioro from Waylon. Behind those, Glenmore Admiral, and dropping out last in the early stages is Panyan. The lead time 34.1 for the first 500 as they go onto the top circle, and on top it's Village Kid, and he's going easy to Morano Magic and Parading. Up on the outside, facing the breeze without cover, is Paleface Bubble, and down on the inside next is Ambro Gold from Scientific. Behind those, Waylon. Third last on the outside is Chico Dioro. Second last, Glenmore Admiral, and Panyan is back last of all, trailing away in last position as they swing round the turn into the straight, and they've got just over a lap and a quarter to go. And on top and going well is Village Kid. He leads out to Morano Magic. Moving up a little bit closer in third position on the outside is Paleface Bubble, and Parading is now firmly put away in that pocket. The next one is Scientific, followed on the inside by Ambro Gold, Chico Dioro, Waylon third last. Second last is Glenmore Admiral, and last of all Panyan. The first quarter of the last mile in 31.8, so they're certainly not breaking any speed records in front. On top and going well though is Village Kid as he strides to the back with just on a half mile to go. He leads out to Morano Magic, and Paleface Bubble moving alongside Morano Magic, trying no doubt to put him in the pocket. The next one then on the inside was Parading, and Scientific getting that lovely 1-1 card up. Behind those, Chico Dioro, followed by Ambro Gold. The next one, Glenmore Admiral. Panyan off the track, 3 wide, and down on the inside is Waylon. Second quarter, 30.9 as they go to the back and approach the 600-metre mark, and it's Village Kid on top. The next one on the outside, Paleface Bubble. Down on the inside, firmly wedged away in the pocket is Morano Magic. Behind those, Scientific going well. Parading can't get out. Panyan going up 3 wide, and in the centre is Chico Dioro. Behind those, Ambro Gold, Glenmore Admiral, and Waylon. Onto the circle, and Village Kid. He leads by a length at the moment to Paleface Bubble. Morano Magic can't get out of the pocket. The next one, Scientific, and behind those, Parading around the turn, and Chris Lewis says, let's go, and Village Kid, untouched, starts to stride away. Scientific down the outside with Morano Magic on the rails, but Village Kid is going to streak away, and he wins the heat brilliantly. Second position goes to Scientific, tight for third. Off the track, flying home, Ambro Gold with Parading in the centre, and up on the fence, Morano Magic. Paleface Bubble stopped to finish back in the field, and after that run probably won't make the final. Behind those then, Waylon, followed by Glenmore Admiral. Panyan very disappointing second last, and might even be in danger of missing the final. And last of all, Chico Dioro, and that time in the end, 2:33.8. The last 2 quarters both run in 28.5. Well, let's have a look at him again. Chris Lewis still hasn't had to go for the whip in any of the 3 heats. Morano Magic battling away there in second position, and his Scientific starting to come home quickly. And Village Kid coming down to the line. Wins it well from Scientific, but look at Ambro Gold. It came from a long way back, and I'd say he's probably got up and got third. He has clearly when you have a look at the replay there. And that's Parading, whose nose is sneaking into the picture there in the centre, and Morano Magic has missed the place, hard up against the fence in 5th position. So Village Kid, number 2, the winner, trained by Bill Horn, driven by Chris Lewis. Second, number 4, Scientific, driven by Des Weeks. And third, number 1, Ambro Gold, driven by John Fullerton. The interesting runner, Panyan, finished 10th, and thus is in severe danger of missing the final. And Paleface Bubble could only finish 6th, and also looks like missing the final. But let's go down and talk to Bill Horn, the trainer of Village Kid.
Looking towards the final now, obviously tomorrow's barrier draw. A bit nervous about that?
Yes, I'd be telling lies if I wasn't, but I reckon everyone home in Western Australia will have their fingers crossed for me, so if enough people cross their fingers, I reckon we'll get 4 or inside.
Well, Bill, who do you see is the hardest to beat in next week's grand final?
Well, we're not quite sure who's going to be in it, but when you get a final of an Interdominion, there's 10 racehorses, and they're all tops, and there's 9 to beat.
Thanks, Bill. Good luck next Saturday night.
Thank you, Peter.
And Village Kid's mile rate for that flying 2100 metres, 1:57.8, the second fastest ever recorded here at Albion Park. To heat 10, and again a lot of interest here, mainly though in the horses drawn wide, quite famous, and Lindy's Express there but very few of these with any chance really of making the final, although Welcome Frost might if he happened to succeed in winning the race. Lion On and Stylish Guy, the two most favoured, of course, to take this event out. Gosh would need to win to get into the final, and She's Able, I think, has very little chance of sneaking through. But let's go down and see what the punters think between Lion On the mare and Stylish Guy.
Lion On, very strong favourite in Heat 10 at the moment, around 7-4 on. Then a fairly wide betting race. Stylish Guy at 3-1, Gosh at 5s, then Quite Famous up there at 10s, but Lion On, a very strong favourite in Heat 10.
Well, Lion On's a very short price favourite in the ring, and the mare has had really no luck in her two starts so far here at Albion Park. She's drawn well in 6 tonight, and I think most of the patrons expect her to go to the lead, and that would be the end of the section. She's had 2 seconds. She's been in very good form. She's certainly going to be the horse to beat here in this race. She's got 18 points at the moment, and one would think it's very unlikely that she'll miss the final. She'd have to run last just about, and I don't see much chance of that with the sort of money that there has been supporting her in the ring. An interesting runner in this race will be number 7, Gosh. He definitely has to win this heat to get through, I think. And he hasn't had a great deal of luck either in the 2 heats, a 6th and a 3rd. And, of course, Stylish Guy is also in this heat. A brilliant winner the other night. And also he finished 2nd on the first night behind Village Kid. But they're moving up behind the mobile gate. And again, let's go down. Here's John Andrews.
Right, let's bring him right in, please. Inside horses. Right, pick it up. Keep on the gate.
Blue lights on and away they go in Heat 10, and let's see what happens. Lion On driven hard in the early stages, along with My Dianthus, and Stylish Guy caught 4 wide, and Quite Famous kicking up on the fences. They go out of the straight, just under 2 laps to go, and it's Quite Famous by virtue of the inside running. He'll lead them to the back the first time. My Dianthus in the centre. The favourite, the mare Lion On, off the track, 3 wide from Stylish Guy. Getting up on the fence next was She's Able from Lindy's Express. Getting back into the field behind those was Gosh. The back there is second last at the moment, Jazzy Joe, and after getting into some trouble early on, Welcome Frost has dropped out to finish last. The lead time as they go through the mile, 33.6, so quicker than even the first heat, and Quite Famous on top. The Lion On a length away on the outside, caught without cover. Down on the inside is My Dianthus and Stylish Guy, perfectly positioned, 1 out and 1 back. On the inside running 5th is Gosh, followed up on the outside next, and going along reasonably well as Lindy's Express. The next one back along the fence then, Jazzy Joe from Gosh, and they've certainly slowed down in this first quarter of the last mile, because Welcome Frost is about to tack on as they swing round the bend and turn around into the straight with 1,200 metres to go, and the first quarter in 31.9 as Quite Famous comes down the main straight with just over a lap to go. He leads out the Lion On, and My Dianthus in behind the leader running 3rd. The 1-1 occupied by Stylish Guy, and the next one is Lindy's Nymph up on the outside of Gosh, followed then by, I should say, She's Able. Gosh is back there 3rd last on the outside of Jazzy Joe, and last of all Welcome Frost as they head to the back and approaching the half mile. It's Quite Famous on top, the Lion On. The next one is My Dianthus, and behind those in the 1-1 still Stylish Guy. No change in the order as they head to the back, and that second quarter in 29.7, and it's still Quite Famous to Lion On and My Dianthus. Stylish Guy in the 1-1. The next one, She's Able, followed in by Lindy's Express. Up on the inside, 3rd last at the moment, Jazzy Joe from Gosh, and Welcome Frost is still last of all. He's about to take off now from the rear of the field on Gosh, approaching the 400, and it's Quite Famous, leading by a neck at the moment to Lion On. The next one, My Dianthus, Stylish Guy behind those, and Gosh going up 3 wide. Getting on to Gosh's back at the moment is Welcome Frost, Lindy's Express in the centre. Up on the inside is She's Able, and behind those then Jazzy Joe. They start to pack up on the turn. Quite Famous in front, but here comes Stylish Guy, and he's coming home quickly. Lion On the mare, I think's had enough in the centre, and down the outside is Gosh. Dashing to the lead is Stylish Guy. Gosh is the danger down the outside, and look at little Welcome Frost flying home. Gosh coming out after Stylish Guy. Stylish Guy and Gosh. Stylish Guy has beaten Gosh. The very unlucky Welcome Frost 3rd, followed by Lindy's Express and Lion On. The next one, Jazzy Joe, followed in by She's Able, and the last 2, Quite Famous and also My Dianthus. The 3rd quarter in 29.2, the last quarter in 30 seconds dead. And my word, Welcome Frost must have been considered very unlucky. He seemed to lose about 30 to 40 metres just after the start, and he's managed to come home and be beaten probably only about 4 or 5 metres. But Stylish Guy, he dashed away. He looked the winner probably a long way from home. He was going very easy, 1 out and 1 back, virtually from the time the starter said go. Gosh coming home quickly down the outside, has got into second position. Certainly going to make things very interesting when they start sorting out the points for the final field. Stylish Guy in front. Gosh trying hard. Henry McDermott trying to get everything out of Gosh. And look at little Welcome Frost flying home down the outside after giving away such a big start. But you can't take anything away from the winner. Stylish Guy, second here last Saturday night, won on Wednesday, and he's won again tonight. Second Gosh. And I think that you'll find Welcome Frost out wide has taken the third position in Heat 10. Although, of course, there is a photo for third. And Peter Donoghue bringing Stylish Guy back. 8, 7 and 5 the numbers on Heat 10. First, number 8, Stylish Guy, driven by Peter Donoghue, trained by his uncle Ross Chisholm in New South Wales. The winning mile rate 1:58.3. Second, number 7, Gosh, trained and driven in Victoria by Henry McDermott. And third in the event, number 5, Welcome Frost, put up a superlative effort when you think that it gave them a start of about 40 metres, trained and driven by Brian Hancock. Line On officially placed 5th, picked up 6 points, and she seems assured of a place in the final, having finished with 24 points. To Heat 11, and this one a very interesting heat. Just a Breeze with a big chance of going through to the final, and also Corral to Gift, of course, who seems to be assured of a spot in the final. The New Zealander Master Mood is also, of course, an interesting runner, and Vanderpoort, I think, would need to win to assure himself of a place in the final. The interesting heat, one of the most interesting ones on this final night, the 11th heat, and here's Peter Longham telling us what the punters think, though, in the betting ring.
Well, for the first time tonight, the favourite for Interdominion Heat, not in the red. The New Zealander Master Mood favourite for this race at around 6-4. Corral to Gift so far unbeaten in the Interdominion Heats at 9-4. Then Vanderpoort, who has to win tonight to qualify for the grand final, is at 7-2. They're the three most favoured horses in this heat.
So they're the horses starting to move up behind the mobile barrier. As I said, the interesting runners here, Just a Breeze number 2. I think would only have to finish 3rd or 4th to get into the final. Corral to Gift and also Master Mood seem to be assured of a spot in the final, but number 6 Vanderpoort would probably need to win this heat to get into next week's final. Let's go and join John Andrews again in the mobile gate.
Horse on the outside. Inside horses, please. Pick it up. Keep him on the gate. Keep right on that gate.
Blue lights on and away they go in the 11th heat, and it's like the charge of the Light Brigade. Coming out very quickly, Dozier by Just a Breeze. Corral to Gift 3 and 4 wide early. Off the track coming across from the wide alley is Master Mood. And as they go out of the straight the first time, Dozier by on the inside takes over to Corral to Gift. Just a Breeze drops in behind the leader to be in 3rd position, and Master Mood's finished up in the 1-1. The next one is Bill Student, followed by Vanderpoort going up quickly 3 wide. Toby Duan in behind those. Barana was a little bit ungenerous in the pacing movement there for a couple of strides. Up on the inside was Lindy's Nymph, and trailing away last of all is Tricky One as they head to the back, and they've got bang on a mile to go, and the lead time 35.2. It's Corral to Gift who's crossed and taken up the running now from Vanderpoort facing the Breeze. Down on the inside running 3rd now is Dozier by, and Master Mood still getting that good run, although Anne Frawley's decided she's going to take over on Vanderpoort, and she's dashed away now. Corral to Gift 2nd, and this leaves the New Zealander Master Mood without cover. Dozier by 4th on the inside from Toby Duan, getting the lovely trail. The next one, Just a Breeze from Barana. Back in the field, Tricky One, Bill Student, and Lindy's Nymph last of all as they pass the 1,200 metre mark. The first quarter of the last mile in 32.4. It's Vanderpoort on top to Corral to Gift. The next one there, inclined just to duck into the fraction there. Master Mood, followed then by Toby Duan up on the outside of Dozier by Barana. Just a Breeze will need a bit of luck to get through from there. Barana still wanting to toss that head about a bit. Behind those, Tricky One, Bill Student, and last Lindy's Nymph as they head towards the back, and they're approaching the half-mile peg. It's Vanderpoort on top, leads out to on the inside Corral to Gift, and up on the outside is Master Mood. Behind those then on the inside Dozier by and Toby Duan, followed by Barana, Just a Breeze, and the last 3 Tricky One, Bill Student, and Lindy's Nymph. Second quarter in 32.3, so they're going along fairly leisurely in front. It's Vanderpoort, a length to Master Mood, and Corral to Gift's a neck away. Behind those then dropping off Dozier by Toby Duan going up very quickly though. 3 and 4 wide is Barana. Also Lindy's Nymph behind those. Just a Breeze getting off the fence. The next one is Tricky One. And last of all, Bill Student as they go onto the bottom circle. And it's Vanderpoort on top. Master Mood's a length away. Corral to Gift is crawling all over them and can't get out. Off the track and coming into it, but starting to lose just a fraction there of the ground is Lindy's Nymph. think between runners Barana and Toby Duan all bailed up with nowhere to go. Vanderpoort dashed away. Master Mood trying hard. Corral the Gift just can't get out from behind the leader. Vanderpoort is coming down to the line. Corral the Gift out now but won't get Vanderpoort. Vanderpoort beat the unlucky Corral the Gift. The next one to finish was Master Mood from Toby Duan, also unlucky. Behind those tricky one, Barana, Just a Breeze, Lindy's Nymph, Bill Student and Dozier Bye-Bye. Vanderpoort, a brilliant drive in front by Anne Frawley. She knew that the main danger, Corral the Gift, was crawling all over her back in behind her, and she just held Vanderpoort back to the field, and Darren Binson just couldn't get out on Corral the Gift, and Vanderpoort has come away and defeated Corral the Gift, and Master Mood has hung on to take third, and that victory by Vanderpoort may see the Victorian through to the final. 6, 4 and 7 the numbers on Heat 11, and first number 6, Vanderpoort, a history-making performance because Anne Frawley became the first ever woman to win a heat of the Interdominion. She drove the horse to perfection, trained by Don Murphy, and the winning mile rate 2:1.2. The last two sectional times 30.4 and the last 400 in 27.9. Second, number 4, Corral the Gift, trained and driven by Darren Binskin. And third, number 7, Master Mood, trained and driven by Kevin Williams.
And Frawley, driver of Vanderpoort, congratulations on making history. Did you feel the pressure on you before the race?
No, not really. You can't go out into a race with pressure on your mind. You've just got to go out there and do your best, and you've got nothing in your mind. If you're out there upset and thinking about you've got to do this and do that, well, then you tend to start to do things wrong. So you've got to put it in the back of your mind.
How long have you been driving for now?
I've been driving competitively in races for about 7 years now.
This your highlight?
Oh, yes. Oh, well, next week would be a highlight if we happen to make the final. I think that'd be the ultimate.
Vanderpoort, a great improvement tonight. What do you think was the reason for the improvement?
We didn't arrive until 2 days before the first heat. He had a very torrid trip up, and it was a lot to expect of him to come out and race on the Saturday night, and he didn't have any luck. A lot of people don't see those sort of things when you run back in the field. And he ran a great second to Village Kid Wednesday night, so we were expecting he'd go well tonight.
Congratulations, Anne. Let's hope you make the final.
Thank you. Fingers crossed.
Well, Vanderpoort at the moment currently with 23 points and might just scrape into the final. A lot of interest, though, on this 12th and final heat. Bag Limit undoubtedly will be the favourite. We'll go down to Peter Longman in just a moment. Game Oro and Wandai's Mate both at the moment have 15 points, and should they finish 4th or better, they could easily get into the final. And Intricate, I think, needs to run first or second to establish itself a place in the final. If it ran first to move to 24 points, Vanderpoort might miss out. If it runs second, it might just get in. There's a lot of combinations possible, with still a lot of interest on the makeup of that final field. Let's go down and find out what the punters think of the 12th and final heat, and here's Peter Longman.
Well, Bag Limit a very strong favourite for this final qualifying heat, at 2-1 on. The local hero, Wandai's Mate, has eased in the betting, started around 4s, now at 11-2. Also Game Oro about 11-2, Intricate 6-1, and Lincoln Storm at 8-1. But a very strong favourite, Bag Limit, at 2-1 on for this final qualifying heat.
So Peter Longman with the market there, of course, for this last heat. Now, at the moment, Village Kids on 33, Stylish Guy and Corral to Give both on 31. They're definitely into the final. Scientific and Master Mood both 27. They're definitely through. That's 5 through. Line on 24, Vanderpoort 23, and of course Bag Limit, who's on 18. If he should get 11 points for a win, he would move to 29. So he seems assured of a place in the final as long as he finishes in the first 7 in this heat. As I said, though, all the interest really centering on Wandai's Mate, who's there, of course, with the blue. The yellow sleeves and the blue cap, and right behind Wandai's Mate you see the other two major hopes, Game Oro and Intricate. Now, as I said, these 3 horses still have a big chance to get into the final next Saturday night here at Albion Park, and no doubt it'll be an unusual race to watch these drivers, knowing that 2nd and 3rd would still ensure them a place in next week's big race. So Bag Limit, who's obviously all the rage. He's drawn in 3. He hasn't had much luck in either of the heats. An outstanding performance when second here last Saturday night. He sat up on the outside of the leader and was one of the major reasons for that very fast time of 1:55.4, which was recorded by Corral to Give. And again, he didn't have much luck on Wednesday night when he finished second. And I think tonight he might go one better. But let's go down and pick up the starters as they move up behind the gate. And here's John
Right,
Andrews.
David. Take it right up, please. Keep him on the gate. No dropping off.
Blue lights on and away they go in the 12th and final heat, and Bag Limit driven hard by Knight and getting up on the inside Gay Moro, and also going well in the early stages there was Thor Skipper, but out of the straight the first time, and it's Bag Limit who's going to cross and lead them. Bag Limit crosses now and leads out to Gay Moro. Moving up on the outside next is Thor Skipper, and Wandai's Mate gets into the 1-1 from Lincoln Storm. Off the track is Egmont Lehigh, and between runners then is Bundanoon as Black Trick goes up on the inside, and Intricate trails away last of all to the back for the first time, and Vin Knight has a good tight hold on Bag Limit, who's strolling along in front to Gay Moro. Now going up quickly 3 wide now is Egmont Lehigh, which means that Thor Skipper will probably drop into the 1-1. Pulling hard along the rails next was Wandai's Mate, and there goes Sugars taking off on the South Australian Intricate, and he's going up very quickly 3 wide. Back in the field third last now is Lincoln Storm, second last Black Trick, and last of all Bundanoon. The lead time a very slow and leisurely 36 seconds, and it's Bag Limit on top. Intricate doing it tough at the moment off the track 3 wide. Between runners then is Egmont Lehigh, and up on the fences Gay Moro. Behind those and pulling double at the moment Wandai's Mate, and on his outside and going reasonably well as Thor Skipper. Back along the inside then was Black Trick, followed by Lincoln Storm, and last of all Bundanoon. First quarter of the last mile in 30.4 as they hear the bell and come down to the winning post, and they've got a lap to go, and it's Bag Limit going along kindly on top. He leads out to in second position Gay Moro, and Intricate up on the outside next. Behind those then on the inside is Wandai's Mate. Behind those then on the outside Egmont Lehigh, then Black Trick, and going up 3 wide is Lincoln Storm. Between runners then is Thor Skipper, and last of all Bundanoon as they go to the back. They've gone through the half mile, second quarter in 29.9, and it's Bag Limit on top to Intricate and Gay Moro. Off the track then is Egmont Lehigh. Wandai's Mate's got off the fence and he's in the 1-1. Black Trick up on the fence then from Lincoln Storm. Bundanoon about to go forward 4 and 5 wide, and going with him is Lincoln Storm, and now relegated to last is Thor Skipper. They start to pack up behind the leader. It's Bag Limit being held back to the field. Knight knows that Gay Moro's parked right on his back. He's the main danger. Intricate starting to drop back into the field, circling around them and coming home strongly. Lincoln Storm. Bundanoon back in the field. Wandai's Mate's going backwards, and through on the fences Black Trick around the turn, and Bag Limit heads up. Lincoln Storm down the outside. Gay Moro, he's got a lap full of horse, but he can't get out, and it's Bag Limit on top. Gay Moro right up behind his back. He's about to get out. Lincoln Storm keeps him in the pocket. Bag Limit's going to win the heat though untouched. Bag Limit beat Gay Moro. Lincoln Storm third, followed in by Black Trick. Bundanoon. Wandai's Mate finished 6th and won't make the final. Intricate behind those from Thor Skipper, and Egmont Lobel is last of all. Bag Limit has won the last heat, and he's won it untouched. A very leisurely performance. 29-4 the third quarter, 29-1 the last quarter, and he's come away and won it very well. Gay Moro's driver Ken Pocock was sitting in behind him. I think that Vin Knight knew that Gay Moro was obviously the danger. He just held Bag Limit right back to the field, and then halfway down the running, it looked as if Gay Moro would get out, and then it seemed as if there wasn't quite enough room there the first time. And then when Knight just released a bit of the brake,